is Matt Friedland, and today I'm shooting a video that will be a brief introduction to the guitar for beginners. I'll also be providing some practice tips for beginners to get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the general layout of the guitar. Whether it's an acoustic or whether it's an electric, the layout is essentially the same. The first aspect I wanted to talk about was the fretboard of the guitar, this region here. We have metal bars that divide the sections in which we play on the guitar, and we call those frets. Where we play to produce different notes are actually in between these regions, and we press with our fingers on each particular string to give us a different note. And we also call those regions frets. We number them starting from the top part of the guitar as being fret 1, and this column would be fret 2. We have the 3rd fret, 4th, 5th, and so on until we get to the end of the neck. Usually there's about 21 frets on a guitar. If you have a guitar, you might notice that there are some dots on the fretboard. Those are fairly consistent on most guitars. They generally exist off of the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, 7th, 9th, and 12th. These are here for visual indicators of where you are on the guitar so you know what notes you're playing. Aside from the fretboard itself, we also have 6 strings on the guitar. The thinnest string is the one on the bottom, and we consider that as string 1. So we have string 1 at the bottom, string 2, then 3, 4, 5, and then 6. The strings get thicker as we get higher in number. When we play on the fretboard, as the numbers increase, so does the sound. So if I started by playing the 1st string on the 1st fret and moved up, this would be fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5, and so on. As the numbers go up, the sound also goes up. So when we play from the 1st fret towards the body of the guitar, that's considered as playing up the neck of the guitar. We can also go down the neck of the guitar. So if I started on, let's say, the 10th fret, as I move down to the 9th, and 8th, 7th, and 6th, as the frets get lower in number, so does the sound. So that goes for all 6 strings on the guitar. So I have some exercises that can help with some development to help you play or get started playing the guitar. The first thing I'll talk about is holding the pick. So when we hold a pick, we want to curl our first finger and place the pick directly on top and have the point of the pick face directly to our left. The thumb will secure the pick on the finger, and this way when our hand comes close to the guitar to play, the hand will be parallel to the strings, allowing the pick to be even with the strings. So we want to avoid, when we use the pick, to curl the wrist or scoop underneath the strings. This will give us an undesired sound and cause technique problems later. So keep the hand parallel with the strings, and when we strike the strings, for now I would suggest just striking down on top. This is considered a downstroke. So if I played on top of the 6th string down, it would sound like this. I want the pick to just come through the string with as much ease as possible. And if we did that on all 6 strings, it would sound or look like this. String 6, string 5, string 4, string 3, string 2, and string 1. So notice the sound from the 6th string to the 1st string, how it starts the lowest and gets the highest from 6 to 1. Once you've got the grip of the pick, we can start trying to do some left hand exercises to build strength and dexterity. So the first thing I like to do is start by playing some of the higher frets on the guitar. Generally, it requires less pressure to play those notes, and the frets are closer together, so you don't have to reach as far. So I'm going to start by using my 1st finger, and I'm going to place that on the 10th fret of the 1st string. So once my finger is placed, I also want to use the support of my thumb, and I'll turn here so you can see, to press into the back of the neck of the guitar so that it's even with my 1st finger. So this allows a good amount of pressure to produce the sound of the note that I'm trying to achieve. So once I have that, I'm going to play this 1st string with a downstroke with the pick, and I should hear the sound. If you press closer to the fret to your right, the sound will generally be cleaner and smoother. If you press closer to your left, you might get buzzing or rattling, as I did just now. So press closer to the right, your right, the fret closer to your right. Once you can hear that sound with your 1st finger, I'm going to add the 2nd finger onto the 11th fret of the 1st string. When I do this, I want to keep my 1st finger down on the 10th fret as well. So I'll play this note on the 11th fret, and if that sounds good, I'm going to alternate back and forth between the 10th fret and the 11th fret. So it would sound something like this. I would repeat that about 4 times. Once that sounds good, you want to move your fingers down to the 9th fret, so starting with the 1st finger on the 9th fret, and play that note, and then add the 2nd finger onto the 10th fret, and repeat that process. Remember, you want to keep your 1st finger down while you add the 2nd finger. This helps to stretch your fingers out. When you're playing chords or scales on the guitar, this will be very beneficial. So the process would be starting from the 10th fret, playing it 4 times, from the 10th to the 11th fret, then the 9th to the 10th fret, and then I would go from the 8th fret to the 9th fret, then the 7th, and then the 8th, and continue until I reach the 1st to 2nd fret. So the frets are the widest apart when you get to the lower number frets on the guitar, causing you to have to stretch farther. So it's better to start where the frets are closer and then work your way down. Also, I want to keep all these patterns off of the 1st string so that my pick will stay off of just 1 string. I don't have to worry about moving my pick anywhere. When we play with our left hand, we're usually looking at our left hand, and it's difficult to see what our right hand is doing. So if we can not have to worry about the right hand so much, it makes left hand playing a lot easier. So if I repeated that process all the way down from the 10th fret to the 11th fret on the 1st string, and so on, it could be repeated off of the 2nd string. It can also be repeated on all the other strings. The 3rd string, 4th string, and so on, 5th and 6th. So once that feels comfortable, you can try and add the 3rd finger So now we're going to be playing the 10th fret of string 1, the 11th fret of string 1, and then the 12th fret of string 1 with the 3rd finger. I want to keep all of my fingers down again to help stretch out my hand. So now I'm playing 3 notes. Fret 10, 11, and 12. I would repeat that 4 times and then move down 1 fret and repeat the process. Until I reach the 1st fret. Again, where the reach is the farthest, the frets are the farthest apart. So we want to start somewhere where the frets are the closest together. Again, doing them 4 times each is ideal. I'm just doing them once just so you understand the process. You can apply that to the different strings as well. So starting on the 2nd string. 3rd string, 4th string, and so on. 4 times off of each fret is ideal. If that starts to feel comfortable, you could always add in the 4th finger, so playing finger 1, 2, then 3, and now a finger 4, from fret 10, 11, 12, and 13, and repeating that process. Or you could try and play the first pattern, finger 1 and 2, moving it up the strings. So starting on string 1, fret 10 to 11, then string 2, 10 to 11, and so on. String 3, string 4, string 5, and string 6. You can continue moving that down until you get to the 1st fret. So that would go the same if you wanted to add the 3rd finger or the 4th finger. So these are great warm-ups. If I did it with the 4th finger, it might look like this. And I would continue to move down the neck of the guitar. Slow is the best way to go for this, and you want to make sure that the sound is very long and clean before you move on. If you're not hearing the notes that way, then don't worry about moving on from there. Just stay where you're at and really focus on making the sound long. By working out our fingers on the guitar, this allows us to play other things more musically related, such as chords, if we're playing scales, or anything in between, we have to use our fingers to do that. So in order to condition your fingers to do that, these are great exercises and great warm-ups and great techniques for using the pick. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck with practicing.